All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first multi-district virtual project fair. This one here, we get to explore projects in Bolivia. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm district governor here in District 7610, Amelia Stansel. We cover Northern and Central Virginia here in the United States. And it's an honor to be able to host this tonight and to be able to put this together. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But I'd like to also say welcome to my fellow district governors and past district governors that are on the call or that are to watch later, fellow members, both here in my district and around the world that are popping in, as well as we have some non-Rotarians that are going to join us tonight as well. So I want to say welcome to all of you to this event. That's a joint between 7610, District 7610 here, and District 4690 in Bolivia. I want to I guess first, as we're going through, give kind of a little bit of background on how we got to this point. Several of you on the screen, I joined you. I joined you on going on a wheelchair delivery project in Bolivia, the end of October and beginning of December, or beginning of November, with my husband Troy, who was over my shoulder a minute ago. And as we went through delivering projects or delivering wheelchairs to children and adults around the country, we had our eyes open to a lot of different opportunities to serve and potential projects while we were there. Fellow Rotarians took us to visit dialysis centers and burn centers and hospitals, and we saw these needs. And it really weighed heavy on me. The last day after most everybody had already left because we came late, so we stayed a couple of days late. I was laying in bed kind of praying on, okay, what am I supposed to do with what I've seen? And I felt the urge that I was supposed to do a project fair of some sort, which I've never done before. Our district hasn't done it in any recent memory, at least. But I really felt I was supposed to do this. But in order to do it, I would have to meet the District Rotary Foundation chair from the partner district from 4690. Now, those of you that aren't from Bolivia may not realize the entire country is one district. So finding the Rotary District Foundation chair is like finding a needle in a haystack. There is one person I needed to meet in the entire country to pull this off. So 2 hours later, Fernando, who you'll meet in a few minutes, zipped into the hotel and picked up Troy and I to whisk us to the hotel or to the airport. And we're like, just drop us off at the curb. We've got this. It's not a problem. It's just another airport. It's like, no, I'll take you in. I'll take you in. So he takes us in and we're standing there checking in at the airport. And he's like, Amelia, I want you to meet Nicholas. He was a Rotaractor who's now a Rotarian. I said, okay, great. Meet this guy. Where are you going? I'm going to Evanston. Oh, okay. Going to the mothership, chatting a little bit about, he's on the technology committee for Rotary International. We chatted about that. We said, oh, okay, well, let's go grab some coffee while we wait for our flight because we're on the same flight. And we talked for about an hour and 20 minutes of our hour and 30 minutes to kill. And he goes, well, what did you learn when you were here? What did you see? And so I was sharing with him some of the needs that I saw. And he said, well, if there's ever anything I could do, I'm the district Rotary Foundation chair. Like literally I needed to meet one person in the entire country, and I'm having coffee with him complaining about Rotary's technology. But we're sitting there talking about this, like this is the person I needed to meet. So we said, all right, let's have a conversation. So I put together my thoughts as we flew back up here. And I sent him like, here's the idea of doing this project fair. What do you think? And that's how we got here tonight, was really seeing a need and being Rotarians, being people of action. This is what we do. We don't just go, that's a bummer, somebody else should do that. We lean in and we say, how do we help solve this? And the way that we help solve it is by bringing in all of you and everybody who's going to watch these videos later to say, let's be part of this. So it is an absolute honor and a joy to see so many friends on here, people that have traveled with us when we went down to Bolivia, friends that I met there, new friends from around my district and really around the US. So thank you all for taking the time to be on tonight. I want to give you just a brief overview.
Thank you for all the Rotarians and non-Rotarians that are here tonight. It's a truly honor to be in this first Rotary online project fair. I would like to begin expressing my deepest gratitude for the lovely Governor District Amelia for her generosity, leadership, and commitment with service. Thank you so much. And thank you all of the presenters that today they are Rotarians that are really passionate about what they are doing, about gathering the information on their communities. They have a great understanding of what's going on in their communities. And they have created these projects that we're going to show us today, and hopefully we can engage and we can work together and make something really important, interesting, and amazing for our communities. Let me share one piece of information that I think it's quite important. In Bolivia, in this last two years, we are having some issues with the dollar exchange, no? So our projects has been changed a little bit, and we are working much better and doing more partnership with Rotarians from other parts of the world. No, I will give you an example. We are working on a community that is called Camargo, near Potosi in Bolivia. We are bringing a new equipment. And what we're doing is Rotarians from the United States are buying the machine in the United States, shipping it to here, and the Rotarians here are just transporting the equipment, installing and doing all the work with the people that work in the hospital. No, that is the best way we find to work with this problem that we are having with the exchange of dollars at the moment. No, we are going to move on again to Fernando. Fernando and his club has been working with the Rotary in San Ignacio, and they have another assessment on that community, and they're going to present. Fernando, again to you.
Thank you, Nicolas. We will share the screen. San Ignacio de Velasco is another town, another city that we visited while we were delivering wheelchairs. Amelia and Troy had the chance to visit the hospital, and they saw on first hand the equipment that they don't have. They have incubators that the factory says that they are good for 10 years, and these incubators had 30 years old. So the idea is providing equipment for these newborns for the maternity room to the hospital. Again, we have signed an agreement with the local municipality to make them provide the necessary maintenance and all the resources needed for this new equipment that we would buy, and keep them running. Not only the resources, but the physical resources, but the human resources also. So far, they have only one doctor, which is been working in the newborn section for 44 years. And he cannot retire because there's no one else to take his place. So the need is real, and we have also found out that they have an average of 6 new babies born every day, and many of them are born with birth defects in motion, lack of mobility, and sometimes how do you say, brain diseases. And this is caused mainly because lack of and bad nutrition. And we have signed an agreement also with Foundation FASIV, would be who would be training all these uh, doing all these workshops uh, in order to teach local people how to nourish better, and the importance for women that are pregnant to be in the hospital, to be checking themselves at least once a month. So we have the budget here that goes up to 83,000, and it's going to provide special craters and incubators, which is the main item, and also doing prevention workshops and different training for the people there. This is a long story short, not to make it long. A ver, okay, this is what we have for this project. Uh, our our budget would be $83,000, and that is what we need. We have 6,500 district designated funds, and unfortunately, this is only what we have. The Rotary Club of San Ignacio de Velasco, which is a ladies club, they will try to reach between $3,000 and $5,000 for the projects. But again, this is nothing that we can take it for granted.
Thank you, Fernando. This was one that touched, I'm going to probably cry telling this. This is one that touched Troy and I's hearts greatly when we were there on the trip. They invited the president of the local club, invited all of us to go over, and Troy and I had our stuff together enough that we could run over and go do the tour of the maternity ward, and we weren't sure what we were getting ourselves into. And I don't even know if you could call it a maternity ward. Those of you that are Facebook friends of mine saw the pictures, but seeing the equipment or the lack thereof, seeing the lack of care, I would say it that way, the lack of having medical care. It was heartbreaking watching as we were getting ready to leave, and we were standing out front talking to the doctor. And we watched a mom come out with this teeny tiny little baby and put it over her shoulder and got on the back of a motorcycle. And the only protection for that baby was the blanket she put over it. And that's how that baby went home from the hospital. As parents, this touched our hearts. And we said, we've got to do better, that kids deserve better than this. And parents just deserve better than this. So this is one that really sat on us. We said, we have to share these stories, and I put in the chat that if you want us to, or me to be able to zoom in or come out to your club, if you're local, I'm happy to come out, but I've got lots of pictures and lots of stories to go with these projects. But this is one where we've got to be able to step into it. They're all important, but man, this one here really touched us. But I know Fernando's pinch hitting in this, but he was with us when we did this tour. It touched him too. You could see just him and Raul that's also on this call. It's just it's one that was right there on our hearts as we walked through as parents and Fernando as grandparents. You know, it just, you can't walk away and go, yeah, that's somebody else's problem. It's all of our problems. So what questions do people have for Fernando on this?
Do you have, are you all talking to any other, I know that this, you all secured 6,700 in DDF. Are you talking to any other districts to get any other DDF funding for this one?
Not at this time.
This project, I will say, just came out of the works when I went down and saw it. I think they were going to show it to us as more of like, hey, check this out, and less like, hey, could you go back and help us create a project out of it? So they've had a couple of months to start putting it together, this package, and starting to tell the story. What they're going to need on our side, because the village that it's in is very it's very rural, and the women that like the president of the club that picked us up, she makes papooses, or I mean that's what her business is. She doesn't, it's not like the large economic area. So they definitely need to have more people out as ambassadors to help them reach these numbers, to be able to go out and tell the stories and be able to help solicit the funds. So just be aware, like this one here, it's truly a rural area, and they're going to need all the help that all of us can lean in and give.